Stone played an important role very recently for a family that was facing a downsizing circumstance, and you were dealing with, I want to say, the adult kids in this family situation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen a big trend happening right now, and that is you organizing your parents as they're getting ready to assisted living, downsizing, whatever it may be, and you're moving from a house that you've lived in for years, 20, 30, 40, even 50 years. So it can be very difficult when it's time to get ready to go and pack them up to their new, their new place. So that's what I've been doing a lot of, because we're all living longer. And so you have to have a plan.
You're creating a lot of memories as well. And so in the course of creating these memories, you're storing a lot of items, holding on to things that nobody really wanted in the first place,
Right.
and in some cases. So I know we have some pretty dramatic video that we're looking at right now. This was literally a holding place that you had in a garage of a home that you were organizing.
Yep.
We do get to see an after here coming up. So let's not, get away from this video, but how do you even approach something like this?
Well, the first thing you need to do is have a plan. If you do not have a plan, you're just causing more stress. So having a plan on where are the items going to go.
Ooh, look at that video. Wow.
Yay.
Okay, good. It's all gone.
Are you going to donate? Are you going to give the items to your sister, to a cousin? Are you going to sell the items? What are you going to do with the items? Because you don't even want to start this project until you have a plan, or else it will become a major headache for you. Because one of the things I do is I make it disappear right away, because you don't want people to go back and start picking through things. And I see it all the time.
Okay, so that's why you didn't leave everything in the room in which you sorted it from. You moved it right on out of the house.
Right.
Okay, and then your next step I saw was, thinking small, starting a little bit smaller so you don't get overwhelmed.
Well, especially when you're dealing with elderly parents, if you think you're going to go in there and do the whole entire house all at one time, it's never going to work. You need to start small. Pick a category, start in one room, and really make sure everything's out of that room before you move on to the next one. And always take in consideration the age of the people that you're doing this with. They don't have the stamina that you might have or that they used to have. So you really want to do it in smaller increments and really just pick by categories, even if it's just, okay, now we're going to do holiday. We're going to pick one thing at a time and do it really well. It will motivate them.
And the final of these 3 steps, and we're coming back later in the show with more, but setting realistic expectations.
Right, because a lot of people don't realize if you're decluttering a house that you've grown up in, it's been around for 30, 50 years, it's going to have emotions. It's going to be emotional. It's not going to happen quickly, and you have to be patient and take that into consideration when you are planning to declutter the home.
Okay,
it gets very emotional.
So going in knowing that not only it's going to be emotional, but that it's a big, giant job. All right, Chris is going to be back with us later on in the show. We're going to continue this conversation. In the meantime, Rance is standing by with something sweet. I feel like we need to add one of our own. Duval. Christine Stone is all in. She and I were at the game together this past week. So, the professional organizer that owns the company called Neatly Designed. And I don't want you to miss out on anything she does. And at the end of this segment, I'll tell you where you can find her. But we were discussing when your aging parents have to downsize and how emotional that can get. We've already touched on making sure that you have a plan going in as to where the items will go.
Right.
Starting small, little areas at a time, and keeping the expectations realistic.
Yeah.
What are the next 3 steps?
The next thing is ask them guided questions when you're doing it. It helps it to move along a little bit faster. So, oh, have you used this in the last year? Do you think this will fit into your new place? If you ask guided questions, it gives a simple yes or no. And if there's a maybe, you can always have a maybe pile and go back and revisit it.
That's a lot easier to answer than should we keep this?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, so ask guiding questions.
The next thing, and this is so important, but people don't really realize that, especially when it's your own parents, is celebrate the small milestones. So if you cleaned out the whole entire garage, make a big deal out of it. It really does make a big difference. I do that with my clients, and it makes them feel like they've really accomplished something. So it's so important to celebrate the milestones as you go, especially if you're doing a whole entire house.
Okay. And next?
Hire a professional to help you.
And that doesn't mean like, hey, if all else fails. What you're here to say basically is it really does get emotional, and an outside person
Right.
can take a lot of that anguish away.
Well, also, we have experience in this, so we know from the moment we get there till the moment we leave what needs to get done and how to do it. Also, we're not emotionally involved. So when you have a child and a parent, you sometimes need that buffer. So hiring a professional organizer is that go-between person who, if you're about to go at it, can be, okay, let's put this away for later and we'll go back and revisit it and calm the situation down, because we all know when things, when you're getting rid of things and it's things that have emotional attachment to it, sometimes it helps to have a referee.
It really does. You've been a referee in my home a few times, and not just between my husband and me, but also the kids and I. So that is all very helpful. You can follow Christine. She's got a website, but go to her Instagram, Neatly Designed, and look at this. You and I have a podcast. We have had one for years. We call it Uncluttered and Unfiltered, the podcast for women over 50. And you can find that wherever you get your podcasts, or at unclutteredandunfiltered.com. In fact, we're going to be recording a few episodes today after the show, so thank you so much.
Oh, so fun.
All right, it's a daunting task. Don't minimize how difficult it is. Christine Stone and Neatly Designed. We're going to be right back.